Unfortunately, I am back. I'm saying unfortunately because I've literally already filmed this video the other day, and we had a mishap with our memory card, and I lost a bunch of footage for this channel and for my main channel. I'm very upset about it, but in hindsight, I'm kind of thinking that maybe it was the universe telling me that I was a little too mean in my last take of this video. I was very mean-spirited, and I came off a little bitchy, if you will, about the movies that I'm talking about. And I don't want to come off like that because I always say we don't yuck anybody's yum around here. One of my worst rated films of all time could be one of your best rated films of all time, and that's okay. Movies come in all shapes and sizes, and they are for everyone. And today we are unfortunately talking about movies from 2025 that I skipped. We went out of our way to not watch any of these movies. I'm just going to kind of, instead of being so mean about it, the first half of these, I'm just gonna say, hey, these just aren't for us. These movies are not for us. That is why we skipped them. But the second half of this, the latter half of the movies, I do have a little theory. So we'll pause and we'll get into that before continuing. So if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give this a thumbs up, subscribe, check out all of my links down below if you would like to see any more of me or support the channel any further. Let me know if you have seen any of these movies. A few of these will end up in my I Finally Watched series, so for those I will put a little asterisk next to my little description here at the bottom. But other than that, for one reason or another, we just decided not to watch. These movies just are not for us. Starting off with House on Eden. Paranormal investigators Chris and Selena and their videographer Jay are rerouted to an abandoned house deep in the woods, where they find themselves facing a force unlike anything they've encountered before. As the night spirals into chaos, missing crew members and eerie phenomena hint that an ancient malevolent presence is watching their every move. Moving into Vicious, when Polly receives a mysterious box, it comes with one rule: place inside something she needs, something she hates, and something she loves, and if she doesn't obey, it will consume everything and everyone she's ever known. I unfortunately did make the choice to skip Drop. Violet, a widowed mother on her first date in years, arrives at an upscale restaurant where she is relieved that her date Henry is more charming and handsome than she expected. But their chemistry begins to curdle as Violet is terrorized by a series of anonymous airdrops dropped to her phone. I will make the note here, this is just not a premise that I wanted to sit through. And number 4, we have Megan 2.0. After the underlying tech for Megan is stolen and misused by a powerful defense contractor to create a military-grade weapon known as Amelia, Megan's creator Gemma realizes the only option is to resurrect Megan, making her faster, stronger, and more lethal. I did not like the first one, did not want to watch the second one. Okay, Stephen Cognetti, very sorry, but we skipped both of the movies you released this year, starting with Hell House LLC Lineage. After a near-death experience, a woman faces nightmares in Abaddon. As mysterious deaths occur around her, she discovers the connection to the Carmichael Manor and decades of unexplained murders. And then 825 Forest Road. After a family tragedy, a man, his wife, and little sister hope to start a new life in Ashland Falls, but he quickly discovers the town has a dark secret, as they do. And then finally here for our first half, number 7, Screamboat. A late night boat ride turns into a desperate fight for survival in New York City when a mischievous mouse becomes a monstrous reality. Now, very quickly before we move on, Screamboat, I really enjoyed like the Winnie the Pooh, like the I hate this word, the Pooniverse. That's disgusting. Anyways, I really like the Blood and Honey movie. It was, I believe, in my honorable mentions of last year, or my tops, to be honest. I really enjoyed the lore and the storytelling in that. I just don't think I was ready to open my heart to another beloved franchise. I am not a Disney adult by any means, so I mean, whatever, mouse, but I just don't know if this was for me. It does have David Howard Thornton in this movie, and that would be my selling factor. But also, I do want to make a note with the Hell House series. Just watched the first one twice, didn't like it either time, haven't watched any of the sequels. I was not going to be seated for a full-length feature film, not found footage, for this series. It has a 1.8. Get real. And you know I love a bad film, but not this kind of bad. Okay, so let's talk about my little theory I have. There's a definitely a lot of movies that begin with, I'm looking at my collection to get some, it's not looking good. Anyways, in front of a movie, like The Ring, The Grudge, those are good films. But a lot of times films that end or begin with you can just kind of tell that they're not going to be the greatest films. And I feel like my next picks here of films that we skipped are great examples of that. Let me know in the comments if there's a movie that begins with that you think is a terrible film. Beginning with The Rental. Two priests, one in crisis with his faith and the other confronting a turbulent past, must overcome their differences to perform a risky exorcism. Up next is The Woman in the Yard. After her husband's passing, a woman struggles to raise her two children when a mysterious woman with supernatural abilities arrives in their front yard. Moving into The Conjuring. Last Rites. Paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren take on one last terrifying case involving mysterious entities they must confront. We have not really kept up with the Conjuring series at all. Number 11 here is The Gorge. Two highly trained operatives grow close from a distance after being sent to guard opposite sides of a mysterious gorge. When an evil below emerges, they must work together to survive what lies within. An over 2-hour romantic dramedy with Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy. I am okay with skipping that one. Moving into The Astronaut. After returning from their first space mission, an astronaut, Sam Walker, is placed under NASA's care at a high-security house for rehab and medical testing. However, when disturbing occurrences begin happening around the property, she fears something may have followed her back to Earth. And then finally, The Strangers Chapter 2. When the strangers learn that one of their victims, Maya, is still alive, they return to finish what they started. I'm just gonna start by saying, hey, Rennie Harlan, count your days. I am so tired of this. The first entry to this series was so abysmal. I think I'm gonna be mean for a second that Madeline Petch, oh my god, my bangs, I cut them too short. I'm getting annoyed. Look at this. Madeline Petch is the inferior Riverdale girl. Lily Reinhart is a star. But this series has fallen so far from where we started. I don't need any backstory. And once I heard there was a boar attack in this movie, oh my god, do you know what I'm looking like right now? Courtney Cox in Scream 3. Oh no, that's what I did. Anyways, we skipped The Strangers Chapter 2. So I'm going to end this video here and maybe go do something about this. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Our next video will be our honorable mentions, which it's going to be a good video because there's 25 movies you should put on your radar. Not my favorites of the year, but movies I really enjoyed. And then we'll get into our favorites of the year. And then after that, we have a really cool physical media haul probably the best of the entire year, and it's the last one of the entire year. And then we'll move into movies that we can expect in the new year and movies I still haven't seen. And then it's Jollo January. So like we are stacked. So stay tuned. I cannot wait to talk about horror with you guys. I love it. I love being here. I love talking about movies. Kind of glad that I refilmed this because in hindsight the last video was about 30 minutes of just me being a bitch, and I'm not in real life, and I don't want to come off like that. So we're just here not yucking anybody's yum except for Rennie Harlan. I'm gonna yuck his yum all day. I'll see you guys soon. Sayonara, spooky fam.